I, a 34-year-old man, have been married to my wife, who is 33 for 10 years. And we have 2 kids. Like most young couples, we had a rough start. We got married while we were still in college, and shortly after, my wife got pregnant. So, we were newlyweds with a baby on the way, juggling part-time jobs and living off student loans. It was stressful, but we pushed through. Graduated, got jobs, moved into an apartment, and eventually bought a house. We've spent the majority of our marriage on a tight budget, always careful about where every dollar went. When we got married, we received some cash as gifts. We decided to split that money, half to be used for necessities and half as a rainy day investment. I took that half, and over the years, I invested it. At first, it was in small stocks. Some of those stocks grew and split, and I reinvested the dividends. I've made smart moves, taking some calculated risks, and those risks have consistently paid off. Over time, that small investment grew into something much bigger. Today, we're in a much different financial situation than my wife realizes. We have enough in our retirement accounts to live comfortably without ever having to work again. We've saved for our kids' college and even have enough set aside for cars when they're old enough to drive. I've quietly shuffled money around and made sure we're in a strong position financially. The thing is, my wife doesn't know about it. We've lived on a tight budget for so long that we've continued that same lifestyle even though we no longer have to. My wife thinks we're still living paycheck to paycheck, and in some ways we are, at least on the surface. We both have allowances for personal spending, and I've always been careful to save most of mine. But my wife spends hers pretty freely, down to the last penny most months. I know that if she were aware of our actual financial situation, she'd likely spend a lot more. She's not bad with money, but she does love to shop, and I worry that having access to that wealth would lead to unnecessary spending. That's why I haven't told her. She never brought up the investment money after I started managing it years ago, and I never volunteered the information. I figured there was no harm in keeping our financial situation under wraps, especially since we're living comfortably as we are. But the other day, we were talking about retirement, and she mentioned how she'll probably need to pick up a part-time job when we're in our 70s to make ends meet. That was the moment I should have come clean. I should have told her that we're already set for retirement, that she'll never need to work a day in her life again if she doesn't want to. But I didn't. I stayed quiet. Part of me knows that if I tell her now, she'll want to start spending more. Vacations, home upgrades, shopping sprees, and I'm worried we'll lose control of the money I've worked so hard to grow. I've always been cautious about our future, and I feel like I'm protecting that by keeping this secret. At the same time, I realize that it's her money too, and she deserves to know the truth about our financial situation. I've been struggling with this for a while. Am I the asshole for keeping our wealth a secret and letting my wife think we're still living paycheck to paycheck? Or am I justified in keeping this to myself to protect our financial future?